Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lunch and Learn for ReFashion. Today, I have the pleasure of our sister agencies from DLCP and OTR um, on providing the regulatory process on how to start your business and knowing the regulatory components of that. For today, we have a lot of information we want to share with you. So I wanted to first outline the agenda first before we begin. So my name is Javi Sanchez. I am a project coordinator here at the DC Department of Small and Local Business Development, DSOBD. So we're the principal agency where we help and support small and local businesses with small business resources such as access to funding, um, the CBE program, if certification program, if you're looking to compete for procurement and contract opportunities with DC government, and other innovative business resources that we offer as well, such as these virtual sessions, and also in person as well. You can make an appointment or a booking with either us or one of our partners at the library, the MLK library. To discuss, how to start your business, general business advice, and also, regulatory, you know, process if you're trying to register your business for a business license. Um, we oh, Before we start, I wanted to talk about the ReFashion pitch competition. Um, this is a funding opportunity for fashion businesses and maker businesses here in the District of Columbia. We're really excited about this opportunity. We started accepting applications late November, November 18th, and we've wanted to showcase this is an opportunity for businesses to showcase, DC-based entrepreneurs and their innovative solutions to the challenges in the sustainable fashion market. Let me just share my screen so I can show slides here. Share. Okay. And so the refashion pitch competition, an overview. It's eligible for entrepreneurs or businesses that can pitch their fashion business during National Small Business Week in May of 2025. Let me just put this here, lower that down a little bit. Um, for you have an opportunity to win between $2,500 to $6,000 to support your business. And who can apply? This is for DC-based textile upcycling designers or businesses offering development services to fashion entrepreneurs in DC. The way the pitch competition is broken down is into two distinct competition tracks, and the first one is the fashion empowerment track. The second one is the textile alternatives and upcycling. I'll go a little bit into detail. I don't want to eat away into the other presenters and the guests that we have here, but essentially, you just go. uh, Um, the application deadline. So the final deadline to submit an application is January 31st of next year, 2025. And unfortunately, there are no exceptions. Applications will only be accepted through the online portal. And there are other deadlines that applicants should monitor. So we definitely recommend folks going to our website at dsobd.dc.gov to download the RFA, the request for applications. So that way you can read the guidelines on how to apply um, uh, for this funding opportunity. And then Cynthia, if you can drop in the chat the DSOBD link so folks can be able to get the RFA and read on their end there. But the website again is dsobd.dc.gov/service and /current funding opportunities. Um, Oh, and here's where once you go onto the website, you'll read a little bit of information about the funding information, and then here, which it's yellow highlighted, you'll click on request for applications, and you'll get the PDF, which will look like this. Um, and this is the actual once you register and onto the platform, this is what the competition portal should look like. Um, Here's a little bit about the required eligibility and the attestations documents there. All the information, the documents, and attestations must be submitted in the eligibility section of the online application portal for review by January 31st of 2025. And again, this is just an overview. We do have info and a recorded info session on our YouTube channel that folks can watch. But this is a required documentation that the documents will demonstrate. So you'll need to upload your DC business license, proof of that needs to be active and not expired. And it also the competition is eligible for for-profit businesses. So unfortunately, nonprofit entities are not able to be eligible for this funding opportunity. You also need to upload your EIN number. Uh, that is the Federal Employment Identification Number there. And also be compliant with the Office of Tax and Revenue (OTR) with a current clean hands certificate. And you'll upload a proof of DC residency. So that could be your DC driver's license, again, active, not expired, or a utility bill, or your voter registration card. And this is a slide where it goes deeper into the details here from what I said here. You can upload a photo or PDF of your business license that's issued by DLCP. And it must be searchable in the DLCP business license database. So a little bit of information there. And if you need help to research search for your business license information, you can go to this website, mybusiness.dc.gov/login. our colleagues, which they're on the call here today, can explain a little bit more deeper about the DC Business Center and how to access. And then, but I'll let that once I finish with the competition segment here. Um, Oh, and this is where once you log in after you log in here with the My DC Business Center, um, this screen should pop up, and this is where, and again, this is just an example um, uh, where you can find your business license. If you know, again, you don't remember or whatnot. So. Um, EIN. That stands for Employee Identification Number, also known as a federal tax ID number. These are issued by the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. These are not issued by OTR or any other DC agency. These are available for free at the IRS website, which you can go to on their website at irs.gov. So you can, obtain an EIN number. Clean hands. I will, for the purposes of this, for the competition, I'll just briefly give you an overview of the requirement for the clean hand certificate for this competition. But we do have folks from OTR to better explain the OTR requirement for businesses. But for the competition, you'll need to upload a PDF of a current and compliant clean hand certificate that's issued by OTR. And the EIN on the clean hands must match the EIN that you entered in the application system on the portal here. So, and again, you can obtain your clean hand certificate by going to the OTR website. And again, we have folks from OTR to better explain how to obtain your clean hand certificate. And this is just an example of how a clean hand certificate should look like. I've redacted sensitive information here, but this is just an example of what a clean hand certificate looks like. For the district residency portion, a photo or a PDF of a non-expired DC driver's license, a voter registration card, or if you don't have either of those, a utility bill. Bear in mind that the utility bill must be current within the last 60 days. Oh, this is a couple of business attestation statements that you'll encounter in the competition application portal that you'll need to attest to the truth of each statement there and acknowledge that what you're submitting to us for this funding opportunity is to the best of your knowledge true. And that you're signing these statements to be true. As I mentioned earlier, the application is broken down into two stages with separate application processes and deadlines for each stage. Part one is the competitive and eligibility stage, and part two is the pre-pitch stage. Part one is what we're currently at right now. So, people submitting their applications. We won't review the applications until January 31st, which is the deadline. And then we'll select 6 selectees to compete for the competition to pitch their business in front of a panel of judges in May of 2025. And a little bit of information that I've already said. Let's see. Oh, the competition track is, or sorry, the competitive application portion is broken down into two tracks. First track is the textile alternatives upcycling track, and the second track is the fashion empowerment track. So what does all this mean? So if, for example, you are a designer who upscales, uses recycled, fabrics or materials um, to, create a new, garment. Um, this track would be applicable to you. So this is geared again to designers, but it can be open to all sustainable fashion businesses. Um, and here, the track objective is if that track applicants are to design one high fashion look using upcycled materials such as thrifted textiles. And as you can read here, the evaluation, the submissions will be based on design, creativity, technical skills, the level of transformation from the original garment, and your use of recycled materials. Um, and some of the requirements here is you must submit one full look, no individual garments. So it has to be one full look. You can submit one before and after photo. Um, these can include sketches or renderings, photos of the design. You can also submit a short description of the concept, the materials, and all the design process that was used in this creation. Um, if you are using a model to showcase your work to the panel of judges, if you are selected as a final six, you may do so. And a pitch deck of no more than 10 slides for the pitch competition. That does not mean that we are requiring 10 slides. It just means that no more than 10 slides for the pitch competition. So this is the fashion empowerment track. So if you, again, have a business that offers business development services to fashion entrepreneurs, to other fashion businesses in DC, this is the track that you can apply for. And some of the examples, again, here you can read, you can, if you're a fashion workforce development provider, if you're offering educational training services to this other businesses or other DC residents in the fashion economy, this track applies to you. For the track objective, you must demonstrate how your business empowers other fashion-based businesses or entrepreneurs or DC residents to succeed in the fashion economy in DC, in Washington, DC. A pitch deck of no more than 10 slides for the pitch competition, and that could be PDF or PowerPoint. I won't go over the competitive application portion, but these are just the narrative questions that you'll see in the application portal. This is the scoring criteria here. And the pre-pitch stage, again, we'll select 6 selectees to present at a live in-person pitch competition in front of the judges panel for National Small Business Week in May of 2025. We'll announce those selectees in February 2025. A little bit of more information about what the selectees will be required to do. Bit more information about what the National Small Business Week pitch competition will look like. And then a little bit more information about the requirements for the 6 selectees. And dates to remember here. And again, I can send this to folks in the call, but in the purpose of time, uh, I'm I'm gonna glaze through these slides, so I won't hog up so much time here. Um, and we have info sessions. The next info session will be January 7th of next month, next year. I'll also send out info session RSVP links if you want to join in that. That will dive in more about the you know, the pitch competition, so that way you can ask you know, Q&A about the competition. And Cynthia, if you can email or sorry, drop in our email for InnoEd. So if you have any questions about the pitch competition, you can definitely email us at innoed@dc.gov. All right. So I stop my sharing here. Um, I'll kick it over to either somebody from DLCP to start the business, how to set up your business entity with the DC government.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Javier, for inviting us to be a part of your ReFashion Lunch and Learn. Everyone, my name is Arish Long. I am a business consultant with Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection, DLCP. Uh, and I just have a share my screen, quick PowerPoint, and just give a quick overview of what we do here at the Business Resource Center. So we are a one-stop shop where we help provide and assist in starting, growing, and strengthening businesses. We do free one-on-one assistance with group workshops, such as today, future current business owners seeking to navigate through the district regulatory processes. We have been established and partners with private sector and district federal government agencies. And this is to assist current and future business owners with business development opportunities to properly do business in the District of Columbia. Being in the fashion industry, most likely the majority of you will be obtaining what's called a general business license. And through that, I'm going to go over some steps on how you can do that. Give me one moment. So first step would be if with our corporations division. This would be a department within the agency where if you have a business name, LLC will be majority of entrepreneurs or small businesses that start up generally tend to go with the LLC route. You will register your LLC with our corporations division by doing a corporate registration, which is a domestic registration with DC. Uh, and you can do that by going to their website, which is corponline.dlcp.dc.gov. If you also have a trade name that you wanted to do with your business, you can also register your trade name with the corporations division. All registrations can be done online. You are able to do in-person registration. However, if you do an in-person registration, there is an additional fee of $100 on top of the $99 fee for those who are filing domestically. And so those are the first step that you want to maintain, that you want to do. And we really emphasize doing your registration first of your name. Reason being, because I'm getting ready to go to step two. But reason being that we kind of suggest that you do the first step of registering your name is because if you skip that step and then come to register your name, the name could not be available to you. In that regard, then you're missing out on being able to use the name in the District of Columbia. And so we recommend that you do your registration of your name first, and then it will take you to the second step, which would be to obtain your EIN number through the IRS. And basically, that's your social security number for your business. And so you just go to irs.gov to register for that EIN number after you have obtained your registration for your business name for your business. Once you have done that, then you would need to register with the District Office of Tax and Revenue, uh, Office of Tax and Revenue, which is DC Office of Tax and Revenue. And you can do that by going to their website, which is mytax.dc.gov. You would need to fill out what's called a FR-500 form. So that's your notice of business tax form that you will fill out through the Office of Tax and Revenue through their My Tax site. Once you have that, that process generally can take about 5 to 7 business days for them to review your information and approve you for your tax registration. Once you have that, they will mail you your information, which will come with a notice number. With that notice number, you would then need to obtain your clean hands certification. Uh, and that means that clean hands is basically you do not owe DC government more than $1,000 in penalties or fines. And these are very important steps that you have to make sure they're in order before you can move to your step of obtaining a business license for your business. And now, if you're going to have a location, so a commercial space, if you're going to be doing business out of commercial space, this will take us to the step number three, which would be the Office of the Zoning Administrator, which would mean you would need to obtain a certificate of occupancy if you're operating out of an office location in the District of Columbia. That permit can be obtained through Department of Buildings, and you can go to this website, which is dob.dc.gov, service/get dash certificate of occupancy. Now, if you're going to be working from your home, then what you can obtain is a home occupational permit. Now, this is all if you are going to be doing business in the District of Columbia. If you are outside of the District of Columbia, such as Virginia or Maryland or any other state, this is not required of you. What would be required is that you obtain what's called a registered agent. You also can get what's called an expedited home occupational permit. Um, this means that you are doing business out of your home, and you may be eligible to get an expedited portion because there are some requirements that don't fall under what you're doing as far as business. That will lead us to your last and final step, which would be to obtain the actual business license. So this is not to be confused with the registration of an LLC. A lot of times we see individuals or entrepreneurs or business owners who would get their LLC and think that they have the license to do business in the District of Columbia. And that is not the case. They're separate. So the registration of your LLC or your business organization is just that you're being recognized as that name in DC under that organizational name and structure. Whereas the business license is the authority, the certificate of authority that gives you the authority to do those business services in the District of Columbia. And you can attain that license through mybusiness.dc.gov to apply. It's an online process. That license is a $99 license. It's for 2 years. Uh, does not take long to get through the process once you uh, created an account, and then you can apply for the business license at that point. Uh, for funding opportunities, we do work with other agencies to help businesses. We have resources that you can attain. One is through the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. Uh, Another, of course, is DSLBD, where they also help, as you was hearing Javier speak on his pitch program. Uh, Other is the Washington Area Community Investment Fund. Uh, they more so deal with business loans, but they're a good resource to help you with. You also have SCORE DC that help you with business planning, accounting uh, services, and things of that nature. We also partner with the DC Bar Pro Bono, uh, where they partner with us, where they'll have a session called Meet a Lawyer for Free. So if you have any business questions as far as your needing legal advice regarding business, we do have a session where you can meet up with a lawyer for free for the DC Bar Pro Bono. That session is actually going to happen next year on January 15th. It's going to be from 5 to 7:30 p.m. on that day. I believe it's going to be a Thursday evening. So if you go to our website, which is dlcpsbrc.ecenterdirect.com, then you can put in the search bar DC Pro Bono or Meet a Lawyer for Free. You can register through that, and it will allow you to have access to meet a lawyer for free. If you have any other questions, such as learning more about the general business license, we have a boot camp that's also coming up next month on January 9th. It's going to be a 3-part session. And the first part is going to be informational. It's going to give you all the details on how to obtain a business license. Also, there will be a panel of subject matter experts that will also give you information on what it is that you need as far as tax office, corporations division, and permitting. Uh, if you see here, this is some contact information. If you have any questions, you want to contact us, you can call us at 202-442-4538. There you will see my email address. If you want to reach out to me, that's rreese.long@dc.gov, or my colleague Tamika Wood. You can reach out to her as well at tamika.wood@dc.gov. And thank you. And I will stop sharing right now.
Thank you, Aris. Excellent. The next segment will be our friends from OTR. They'll present on how to set up your business with the OTR. With OTR, OTR stands for Office of Tax and Revenue. OTR.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael McManus. I'm a customer service manager with the DC Office of Tax and Revenue. You may also hear it referred to as OTR. Um, the role we play in customer service is to help get your business tax accounts registered. You can register these accounts, and I'll ensure that this information is dropped in the chat because there is going to be some websites as well as some contact information that I share with you today. So the website you're going to want to go to is mytax.dc.gov. At the top of our page, there is a business section. Under that business section, there's going to be a hyperlink that says register a new business form FR 500. And that's the form you're going to want to pay attention to. Again, that's the form FR 500. It does say new business registration. If you have other business tax accounts, you can certainly add another business tax account using this form. So just keep that in mind. I know it says new business registration, but you can use that for established businesses as well. So if you don't have a sales and use tax account and you'd like to add it, that is one way you can add it outside of using your account. With the FR 500, you may register for business tax accounts. Like I said earlier, you can register for the sales and use tax account. You can also register for a plethora of other tax accounts, such as withholding, franchise accounts. And when we say franchise accounts, we're not necessarily referring to like McDonald's franchise. This is franchise accounts, meaning, if you want to incorporate your business or leave it unincorporated, those are some options you have in the types of tax accounts you can set up to file business income taxes. So when we talk about franchise tax account, again, that's not like your McDonald's or Chipotle. That speaks to your business income tax accounts and how you want to set up your business. Please ensure you provided all the required supporting documentation. When you are registering your tax accounts, it will ask you to provide the DLCP documents once you have registered with them. So just make sure that that information is included, so that way there isn't a delay in processing your registration. We will send what's called a send back notice. There will be a letter requesting the required documentation if you don't have that. And all that does is just delay your business from getting registered as quickly as possible. If you have questions, I will be providing the contact information on how you can reach us during that process. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions filling out the FR 500. We can't necessarily tell you what to put down, but if you need help with trying to figure out what we're looking for, our specialists can certainly help explain what information we are looking for, such as what I talked about earlier, that supporting documentation from DLCP. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of documentation that you're going to be getting as you set up your business. So we're here to help clarify that for you. Once you submit your FR 500, please keep in mind it will take up to 3 to 5 business days to register your business. That does depend on our volume and flow. So different times throughout the year, tax season, end of year, it may take longer to process, so please keep that in mind. If you have any concerns with that processing time, just give us a call and we can give you an update if you have any questions about that. Once that 3 to 5 days has passed, we ask that you allow up to 15 business days to receive your notice of business tax registration, also known as the NOBTR. Again, that's the notice of business tax registration. We ask that you allow up to 15 business days, not because it takes us that long to send that out to you, but because with the mail service, sometimes there can be some delays with that. So we just want to ensure that the expectation is there to allow enough time before reaching out to us. The notice of business tax registration, or NOBTR, is really important because that's the notice you will use to set up your MyTax account. Okay, so when you first go to mytax.dc.gov, you're going to register your form FR 500. But when we send you this notice of business tax registration in response to the registration form you've submitted, you will still need to set up a MyTax account so you can manage your taxes, file your returns, make any payments, and also if you have any profile information that you need to update, like your address or your business name, you can do all that through MyTax, but you need to have that MyTax account set up. So that's why the NOBTR is extremely important. You'll find the notice number at the top of that form, and that notice number is what you'll use to set up that MyTax account. So in the top right corner of our site, you'll see sign up for MyTax. When you go to set up your MyTax account, it will ask you for credentials, and one of those credentials, it will ask you for a letter or notice number. That is the notice of business tax registration notice number you'll want to reference to set up your MyTax account. MyTax is not just a way to register your accounts, but it really is a self-service tool. That is the primary purpose of MyTax. What I covered is simply just getting you set up, but MyTax gives you the ability to request forgotten usernames, passwords. So if you have any trouble getting into your account, um, MyTax gives you self-service options to recover that information. You can also view tutorials. Each of these tutorials provides step-by-step instructions for a variety of topics to help you navigate MyTax or manage your profile. You can also file your returns online for most tax types. The tax type that you currently can't file is corporation franchise tax account, but most others you can file. You can also manage, as I mentioned earlier, profile information such as your name, address, and account access. So if you want to provide account access to a secretary or an administrator, you will be able to have those self-service options. You can also use your MyTax account to communicate with our office 24/7. Now, I'll provide our office hours below, but you can send a message through your MyTax portal at any time. So that's the convenience of MyTax. You don't have to wait for our office to be open to communicate to us. We do ask that you allow at least 3 to 5 business days for our office to respond to your request, especially during busy times. It can take some time longer for us to respond. If you don't receive a response in a timely manner, please don't hesitate to give our office a call. So I'll provide you our phone number down below, and also make sure it's in the chat. So if you do need to send us a message, there is, once you log in, there is a More tab. When you select the More tab, there is a section called Messages and Letters. And underneath Messages and Letters, there will be a link where you can send a message. Again, if you have any trouble contacting us via that method, or you don't feel like you're getting a timely response, again, this can happen, especially during tax season. You may certainly call us during regular business hours, which are 8:15 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And our number is 202-727-4829. So any questions you have about getting your business set up with the Office of Tax and Revenue, or any questions about your MyTax account or getting that set up, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. We'd be more than happy to assist you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Michael. So yeah, thank you again to Aris and our colleagues there, and to DLCP and OTR as well. So we'll open it up for questions, Q&As. Does anybody have any questions? You can either unmute yourself or drop the question in the chat. And we'll also provide information, point of contacts, email addresses in the chat as well. So yeah, this is your time to ask any questions.
Hi there. Thank you so much for all this information. It was super helpful. I was just wondering, is there like a one-pager that kind of summarizes the processes that were laid out just as a checklist for us as we're starting?
For the business licensing portion or the OTR portion?
I think, well, ideally all of it, but whatever is available, just to kind of lay out the process of all the things we need to do, and then maybe just like links to where we should go for them, because I'm sure the information is already on the websites.
Yeah, Aris I think there might be a checklist on the SBRC website, if maybe I'm wrong.
There is, but if she, I could put my email in the chat, and if she shoots me an email, I can send her an attachment of the 4 basic steps.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Oh, and one more thing, Karima, are you still online?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I did see a question in regards to the you had a, if you're a regular sustainable fashion business. Can you explain a little bit your question?
Yeah, sure. And
Yeah.
sorry if I was misunderstanding. I'm working on like a sustainable fashion business. So it's using sustainable materials. There's a social impact component, but it's definitely not high fashion. And it's, a small business, small e-commerce business. So I was just trying to understand, my understanding of the two tracks for the competition are one is for designers to create, to upcycle and create like a high fashion design. And then one is for businesses that are empowering other fashion businesses. So I was just trying to understand, is there a track where something like what I'm doing would fit, or is this just not for that? But I'll keep an eye out for future opportunities.
No, yeah. Thank you for the question and clarifying. I would recommend still submitting the application. I will not be judging the application or the creation, the look, the high fashion look or whatnot. So definitely still I would recommend submitting your application for the textile track.
Okay, so it would be like submitting an actual design that's not purpose built for this, but it's like one of our existing designs.
Yeah, so as far as it's, were you able to download the RFA?
Yeah, yeah, I looked at
Okay.
that.
Yeah, so the RFA, as long as it adheres to the objectives of the textile component or competition track, the objective, the requirements, um, the before and after look, it could be again a photo, it could be a rendering, sketch, it's basically for I use this example if, for example, if you're a textile designer and you have you have a, recycled fabric or textile you have, and you sketch out a look on your sketchbook or your CAD program, or maybe a photo, and then an after could be the actual creation, so just a before and after look. Yeah, that's just an example.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions from anybody else?
Sorry, you may have already covered this, but will the recording be sent out to all attendees after the meeting?
Yes, the recording will be sent out. I'll do a follow-up after the record or after the session with information, resources that were shared, and other point of contacts as well.
I have a quick question. So the most recent RFA on your website states that you do not need to be early or growth stage fashion business, but your slide had that listed as a requirement. Can you verify that, please?
Right. The RFA, whatever's on the RFA on the website, we took out took out the early stage or growth stage business requirement.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Cynthia, do we have any questions that I might have missed? And by the way, Cynthia's our colleague here at the SOVD that's helping our with the session here.
I don't see any. I believe you answered them all.
Okay. I guess I'll ask a question both to DLCP and maybe OTR. Um, what are as far as any common um, you know um, errors or mistakes or maybe that you can share that you see from businesses or applicants that they can know in advance before they apply for a business license or any other documents that they may need to know before they actually start the regulatory process with either DLCP or even OTR, so that for the folks here on the call.
So I can say the main thing is don't get confused about what is the registration for a LLC or your organization versus the registration for a business license. Also, you don't have to have an organization name in order to obtain a business license. You can be a sole proprietor if you choose to, but that's just something you would have to decide on what's best for you and your business. So registration for a LLC and the application for a business license are two separate things. I would say is one. In the process of obtaining a registration for a LLC, in the process, there's one section that talks about miscellaneous information, and that's basically all you thing you need to do in that section is they're asking for who all is involved in your organization. If it's just yourself, then you just need to put your name and your address. If it's yourself and one other person or two other people, then the same thing, your name, their name, and their address. And that's a point that's generally missed in the process of getting a license. And the main thing, as I think was expressed with OTR, is make sure that you are registered with them with the filing of the FR 500 and also your clean hands.
Okay. OTR, if you want to
Yes,
add in? Yeah.
one of the things that I kind of realized when a new taxpayer is opened up an account, like my colleague, Mr. Michael McManus, indicate, you probably want to open up a corporate franchise and a sales and use. Now, the caveat to this is if you open up a tax account with a DC address, it's going to populate a personal property tax account. Keep in mind, once again, if you open up a tax account with a DC address, it's going to populate a personal property tax account. So you're going to be required to file 3 types of taxes. As my colleague, Mr. Javier, said, if you're outside of DC, you're probably just a corporate franchise or a sales and use. But if you're in the district, you're going to be required to file 3 tax types of return: personal property tax return, sales and use, as well as corporate franchise. And as Mr. Long indicated, the best way to deal with the sales and use tax account as well as the personal property tax is get a e-hop if you're working out of your house. Um, I don't know if Mr. Kendrick or Mr. Farina have something to add.
No, I'm good. The only thing I'd emphasize is the personal property. Even though you may not meet the threshold, the system automatically prompts you to register for that PPT if you're a district resident. That's all I'll add. Yep.
Mike, it's a DC address.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
If you
right.
put a
That's what I'm
DC address
emphasizing. Right?
in,
You put a DC address, It's
Yes,
going
right.
to automatically, well, I don't want to say mandate you, but that's what's required. That's correct. Yep. But these are the things that people need to know because once they go onto a website, I don't want them to get scared. But these are just steps that they'd have to complete.
James, if we have questions about that, how can we schedule an appointment with you? And do you have any available tomorrow before the holiday?
Well, uh, I was doing a favor for Mr. Kendrick. I'm actually on leave, but I will give you I'm gonna drop my information in the chat and you can call me. I'm fair game after December the 30th. Will that work?
Um, isn't filing due before the 30th?
No, because you haven't opened up a tax account.
A few of us have.
Oh, okay. Well, what I can do is if I'm gonna put my name and phone number in the chat and my email address. Send me a quick email and I'll schedule some time for you tomorrow.
Oh,
Well,
thank you. Thank you.
will that work?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna include my name too, so we both can talk to them. That's fine because I know you're off.
Bless your heart, Mike.
That's okay.
Yes, thank you both. There's one thing I also wanted to just point out as a common error, more so on the sales tax return itself, for those of you who are currently filing or will be filing. If you utilize a marketplace facilitator to perform a lot of services, for example, Amazon, and you sell products through them, Amazon is responsible for remitting any sales tax collected for those transactions directly to the district. Now, Amazon will report those sales. Now, they'll send you uh, the sale, the sales amount, probably less any fees. However, you too would also need to report those sales, but there is a column on the sales tax form for marketplace facilitator sales. So you can back those sales out of your taxable transactions for the month. So there won't be a duplication of taxes paid. That's a common error that we had been seeing more so previously, but it's getting better now. But I definitely just wanted to point that out as responsibilities.
Hey, Javi.
Yep.
I just mean to, I didn't mention earlier, Paul Caswell, one of our colleagues, is also on the call. I didn't know if he may wanted to share any things that he might have seen that comes across as far as what people may.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Paul, if you want to chime in as well.
Hey guys, yeah, I just wanted to leave my information, which I did in the chat. Anybody is welcome to reach out to me by email or by phone. You know, I work with Oris, so we tag team a lot on these cases. So feel free to reach out to us if you need any assistance.
Great. Thank you, Paul. I think we're about at time here, but I appreciate everyone's, all of our colleagues here across DC agencies here to support our small businesses with the, you know, regulatory basics. I know it can be kind of a dry you know, topic, but it is very crucial in some cases, consequences as far as tax consequences or any other, you know, regulatory consequences. But it's very, very vital. And I think we have Vicky, your hand is raised. If you want to submit your question to the InnoEd email address, it's noinn.ed@dc.gov. So we can, you know, go ahead and answer those questions. But we'll leave it at that. And thank you very much, everyone. This concludes the info session, Lunch and Learn info session here. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Same to you. Happy holidays,
Thank you.
everyone. Take care.
Thank you.